just like a Sunday. It's sweet every time I teach you something new. Is this by chance or fate? Whenever it's just me and you. Don't get the wrong idea. When we touch, you'll never be enough. Is it way too much if you had to? Okay, I'm done. Greetings. We're back with the finally the Yuri Route. If the microphone is placed kind of weirdly and so I sound weirdly, then I'm sorry. I don't have much to say. I'm excited for the Yuri Route because I have thus far done nothing with Yuri. The intro, that could be interesting to say, was your choices matter more than you think. And I will go multiple routes for the ending, mix a bit around with the routes. See if I can get a few little more extra scenes maybe even, as well as seeing if that means I have more options at the end maybe, and what the characters say, if they say something different. We'll see. But for now, let's finally get to spend some time with Yuri. Oh wait, I'm not excited for seeing more Yuri events. For the nightmares. I'm not excited for that part. Give me a moment. As might as well quickly check if everything's recording properly, and it seems to be that way. I am still paranoid. After all that has happened, I'm paranoid as hell about that. I got the chance to get to know Yuri a little bit better as we prepared for the festival. A fond recall back to last Sunday, where we spent the afternoon working on the banner. A smile comes across my face as I remember the towel incident. Damn, that towel incident. I hope I'm not, I'm feeling a little bit like my voice is leaving me, so I hope it won't be too bad with that either. Despite having to perform at this year's festival, I certainly had much more fun compared to last year's, especially since I was able to spend it with Yuri. She wouldn't let me out of her sight for some reason. I have an idea why. After a moment of silence, he was the first to speak up. Okay, so the girl we chose to spend time with the weekend is always the one who speaks up. Natsuki always spoke up beforehand. And now it's Yuri. Now we've went with her. Hey, Monica. Monica turns her full attention to Yuri. Yuri immediately averts her eyes as she starts shifting her feet on the floor. Surprisingly, Yuri pushes on with what she has to say. Listen, it isn't your fault that we couldn't get anyone new to join our club. Monica closed her eyes, seemingly trying to fight back tears. You pushed us out of our comfort zones to give us an opportunity to make something fun for all of us. And I can say that from my experience from the preparations, it was well worth it. Yuri shoots me a quick side glance. I know exactly what she's referring to. Yeah, you and I had a really good time together. We got to paint the banner, and we even... I look over at Sayori and see her staring me down with a sort of sad look in her eye. I can't say it, not after I shut her down on Sunday. Even, I can feel my face burning up as a deep sense of extreme guilt washes over me. It leaves me tongue-twisted, and I don't know what else to say without upsetting Sayori. You are allowed to express that it was a good time. I understand that it must be difficult because Sayori did confess, but if it's your feelings, you can't just fully push down your feelings either. Saving me up from further embarrassment, Natsuki is the next to speak up. Oh, come on, Monica. Don't be so hard on yourself. I had fun preparing for the festival. I always enjoy baking, so I wouldn't say it was all for nothing. Sarah turns her attention back to Monica. But since we could... Oh. So what Sayori said was also the same, but it just wasn't registered as that important. Yuri! I go to Yuri first. Yuri's in her usual spot at the front of the room, reading Portrait of Markov. I carefully approach Yuri, not wanting to startle her. Hey, Yuri! The poem sharing should be different for Natsuki and Yuri. Yuri is immediately snapped out of her trance as she turns her head to face me. Oh, hey, Chloe! Yuri sounds surprised to see me, but she quickly composes herself. Ooh! Was frozen for a moment. Oh no, my game is... Okay, Monica's already making her moves. It was frozen for a moment and then... How are you doing this afternoon? Oh, I'm doing alright. Just want to see how you've been. Yuri's eyes glisten. Came to check up on me? How thoughtful. Yuri starts playing with her hair as if she's trying to compose herself. I mean, yeah. So it's been a while since the festival. Yuri continues to blush even harder. I'll admit, looking back on the time I've spent with Yuri over the last 2 weeks, I feel a smile form across my face as well. I quickly try to change the subject to avoid someone seeing us like this. So, how's reading Portrait of Markov been? Yuri snaps out of her gaze and back into reality. Oh, well, the book has gotten to be very interesting. How about you? Did you have the chance to get any reading done? Yeah, I was able to catch up to read up to chapter 5. I can't believe they left us on a cliffhanger like that. Isn't that... I mean, with a lot of my books that I read, it tends to end on cliffhangers, but not always. I'm currently reading it's called a series, but there are only 2 books as far as I've noticed from the Sparrow series from Mary something Russell. I don't remember the middle name and I don't have it nearby right now. The Sparrow series, and the second name is also The Children of God, because I was looking for something philosophical as well as some other things. Yuri chuckles to herself. Well, that's why there's chapter 6. Come on, we can read together. Exactly. It's not a cliffhanger if there are still more chapters. I like that, Yuri. I see Yuri form another smile. You're a really good friend, Chloe. He flushes a gentle smile at me. It's very clear that between us hanging out last Sunday as well as the festival, she's really had me on her mind lately. And if I were being honest with myself, I'd say I've spent the last 2 weeks with her on my mind as well. You may be a hard person to get a good read on sometimes, but I'm starting to think that maybe we can be more than just friends. Well, I try. In honor of my throat feeling like I might be ill, I have some herbal tea for once. I usually have some more fruity teas, but I also think this fits more with Yuri than my fruity teas. Did I read this? Did I read the... Well, I try. I can't remember right now. Oh no, and my memory is sucking even worse than usual. We stand there for a few moments, gazing at each other. Suddenly I remember to grab my book. Calm, Amy, calm. Oh, I should probably get my book. I don't believe there's a need for that. If you want, you could sit next to me again. If you want, I really have no preference. Yuri becomes all flustered and is stumbling over sentences. I tried to calm her down. Hey, it's okay. Really, I wouldn't mind at all. I start to feel my own face heating up with embarrassment. It's as if this needed to be even more awkward for the both of us. It's as if... Off the corner of my eye, I notice Sayori staring stoically into space. That's not like Sayori. What's up with Sayori? Yuri tries to look at Sayori. I'm not sure. I haven't really seen her like that before. Can't imagine what could possibly be troubling her. Yeah. I'll be right back, okay? Yuri smiles and nods approvingly at me. I'll be waiting. Okay, that's for not too much yanderiness. Hey, Sayori! Oh, hey, Chloe! What's up? Oh, same old. She smiles sadly at me. Sayori. This line, I for some reason can't remember. I hate to see you like this, and I know you don't want to have those rain clouds over your head all the time. Deeply sorry. I never wanted to hurt you or... How funny. I was still with Yuri. You'd spend time with Yuri, wouldn't you? I can see why you like her so much. You deserve to have someone like her in your life. Just the way you seem to be enjoying yourself over there with Yuri. And I ruined it for you. I'm a terrible friend. That's the same. Aside from that Natsuki exchange with Yuri, like me spending time with Yuri isn't going to make me forget about you, Sayori. So you are. Damn it, Monica! Monica and Yuri giggle before going back to their respective activities. So and I turn to each other, both shooting each other a concerned look over what just happened. I'm going to check on Natsuki. Syrups a tear and gives me an approving nod. I carefully approach the closet. I hear Natsuki rummaging around in the closet. Natsuki? I ever so cautiously ask as... Natsuki? And as softly as I humanly can. Natsuki turns towards me. I can see the fire in her eyes. What?! The frustration in her voice takes me off guard. I need to calm her down before this gets out of hand. Hey. I just wanted to see what's been going on, that's all. Is this kind of similar to what happened with Sayori last time? Like when I started with the Sayori route, Natsuki seems to calm down a little upon hearing this. I can't find my volume 12 Upper Figure set! Everything's been moved around again! Do you want me to help you? Natsuki seems to be slightly offended at my suggestion. No! I got it all under control! I don't need your help! Idiot! Her voice trails off. You sure? Yes! I'm not a kid! I can handle myself, you know! It seems like it's the same as with Sayori's route, but I don't remember, so I will keep going for now. Maybe she can handle this by herself. Suit yourself. Set back towards the front of the room, I can hear Natsuki's exasperated sighs, followed by more of her yelling. Yeah, that's definitely the same. Baka! What? I'll never get around to understanding Natsuki's weird logic. My train of thought is interrupted by Monica calling us to attention. Okay, everyone, poem time! Oh, do we really need to do this now? I'm looking for something! Sorry, Natsuki. I just want to make sure we have enough time to share. Natsuki shoots Monica an irritated look. Alright, fine! Natsuki quickly glanced back at the closet. I see the irritation of Natsuki's face fade away as she dejectedly looks at the floor and starts slowly walking to retrieve her poem. Hey, Natsuki. Natsuki turns to me, her face red and eyes glossy as if she was fighting back tears. Yeah? Sure you'll find it sooner or later. I know it means a lot to you. And that you find that copy. Trust me, I'd be pissed off too if I lost something that was important to me. Natsuki struggles to maintain eye contact with me for longer than a few seconds. I know how you feel, and I just wanted to let you know that my offer to help you still stands. Natsuki's face returns to its normal color, but she struggles to articulate what she wants to say next. But after a few moments, she finally finds her voice. Thanks, Chloe. Hey, no problem. I hate seeing you get so worked up like this. I like seeing you happy. Natsuki stares off into space, as if to process what I just said. You alright, Natsuki? Natsuki returns to reality. I'm fine, let's just get this over with. Natsuki hurries off to the back of the room to retrieve her poem. I quietly sigh to myself as I walk over to retrieve my poem. It's always been hard for me to get a good read on Natsuki. Sometimes I don't know whether she acts that way on purpose, or that she has an ulterior motive for trying to act that way. I proceed to exchange my poems with the rest of the club members. Despite the rather interesting exchanges that I had with Natsuki, she acts as if it didn't happen and gave me her usual suggestion of not being too wordy. But during our time together, she seemed unusually unfocused, as if her mind is elsewhere. Likely out of guilt for being angry when I was around her today. While I've always struggled to understand her, her poem might have given me some insight into what she's going through. Natsuki's poem was about a girl who had a seemingly good friend group. But one day, the group added another member, and the new member spent spend time with just about everyone else, except for her. And they want to get to know the new person because she found him interesting. But it just never worked out, leaving the person feeling alone and unwanted. Did she have any way of interpreting things? Because Natsuki does not in fact just write down exactly what's going on. Like, Eagles Can Fly is about the feeling of giving up, and it's still not just saying, I want to give up. That was more Sayori's voice for me. I want to give up. Everyone's so good. Nobody takes me seriously. No matter what I do, I'll never be good enough. It's still not that type of poem. So I feel like constantly having them write exactly about a girl who is going through this and that. Same with Sayori, who's like writing directly about what's going on. The only metaphor being that the door is left open, so that basically perhaps there's still a chance at romance, but at large it's just they're a bit very, very straightforward. Like, Natsuki's poems are simple, but she doesn't just write, this is exactly what's going on. Like, Amy Likes Spiders, if she was just being straight up the whole time, she would have written, a girl likes manga. Like, even if she doesn't want to say it's herself. The only thing that's left up to interpretation is that she finds him interesting and not saying straight up that it's romantic. I've come as a writer, and how my style was becoming more and more like Yuri's. Something which she teased me a little bit about. Stand the meaning behind it as usual. Chances and new opportunities. Same. Probably both. Yeah, it's literally just the exact same, except with the only nice kind of a thing that she built in was the door left open. Ah, surprisingly, Yuri actually came to see me first, excited for us to exchange poems. Yuri's poem was in her usual style of being deep and sophisticated, but it was unusually joyful for what she usually writes about. Through my best interpretation of her poem, it seemed like it was about someone finding love and companionship for the very first time. Like, the question is, they're talking about it like it's the poems are directly saying a boy and a girl in a group, and then a boy joins in. Rather than, or like, it's definitely a boy, if it's the group itself that was left up for interpretation if the group is made of only girls. But, like, they're not that straightforward. The poem told the story of how they were trying to interpret their own feelings and debate about how they should go about it. She seemed to really enjoy my poem, calling it one of the best poems she's ever read. She also compliments me on how far I've come as a writer, and that she's proud that she was able to serve as a role model for me. Our talk of poems quickly shifted into catching up with each other to see how we've been since the festival. During our conversation, we at times struggled to maintain eye contact with each other. It was clear that what happened last Sunday and the time we spent during the festival was very much on our minds. I've always enjoyed being around Yuri. I even started to like the little quirks she has. She may be shy and awkward at first, but she's a really deep and interesting person to be around. She clearly knows her stuff, and there's never been a dull moment between us. He always did find it adorable whenever she gets flustered and doesn't know what to say next. Not to mention, she's breathtakingly beautiful and elegant. I often find myself getting lost in those beautiful dark purple eyes of hers. If things can always be like this, I could die happy. Does always repeat stuff. I really need to figure out things between me and Sayori. He always mentions this with the I could die happy if things like this. Given everything she's gone through lately and how I've probably been making things worse. On the bright side, I think I'm getting better at understanding Yuri. She seems to be getting much more comfortable around me. I wonder if it's because of that Sunday when we made the banner. I think back to those 2 times where we almost I gushed to myself, reliving them in my head. I wonder if Yuri really would go out with a guy like me. I mean, she seems to be really into me, but she really isn't one to go out of her way to step outside of her comfort zone into social situations. Though Yuri has been opening up to me more, so maybe there is a chance. And if there's a chance to be with her, I'm definitely going to take it. It would be quite the turn of events. Yuri, a girl who would often spend all the time by herself and who hardly ever raised her voice, to maybe going to go out with me. I wouldn't mind it. Something tells me Yuri wouldn't mind it either. So drift off to sleep, I think to myself, the same thing as I always do. Let's see. Okay, what are we about to see? Probably for now just Yuri stabbing herself or something. Or going with her crazy eyes. One of these two things. It's definitely one thing that kind of happens in Act 2. And then the second dream is going to be where Monica's silhouette appears and she's like, they're suffering. And then Yuri's going to die definitely at least once with the stabbing. Suffering is to be ended. And then Yuri is going to be aggressive or some type of very possessive, obsessive person with us during the third dream. Those are my predictions. To find myself back in the club room? Yeah, we're feeling the door open to find ourselves back in the club room. Only, something's off. The club room is completely empty. There's no desks or chairs. What happened? I heard the doors to the club room open. I turned to see who opened them. It's Yuri. Hi, Chloe. Yuri has a deranged look on her face. Hi, Yuri. Don't really know what to say or do in this situation. Where are we? It doesn't fucking matter. What matters is that we're here together. Alone. Yuri lets out an insane, maniacal laugh. I want to scream and run, but I can't move. I made something for you, Chloe. A piece of paper floats over to me. My hand stretches out to grab it. I put a lot of thought into it. Please tell me what you think. Respond! Washerwomen! Episodically. Parajournalism. Herringbone. Hand knits. And of course, again, this little part here at the end. Fresh blood seeps through the line parting her skin and slowly colors her breast red. I begin to hyperventilate as my compulsion grows. The images won't go away. Images of me drilling the knife into her flesh, continuously fucking her body with the blade, making a mess of her. I start going crazy as my thoughts start to return. Shooting pain assaults my mind along with my thoughts. This is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. How could I ever let myself think these things? But it's unmistakable. The lust continues to linger through my veins. An ache in my muscles stems from the unreleased tension. Yes, experienced by my entire body. Her third eye is drawing me closer. And I still don't think that's really Yuri speaking. And if it's Yuri speaking, she kind of had that thought implemented into her mind, because it is pretty much a continuation of Open Your Third Eye, which was Natsuki's poem in Natsuki's handwriting as well. And if they're kind of connected, then there's probably some type of other components, and you can't exactly say that either of those poems are Natsuki and Yuri's poems. So I didn't want to read it in her voice. Chloe, what did you think? Isn't the best thing you've ever read? I spent all night working on that. Had to cut myself 5 times just to make sure that I finished that poem. I must pass out writing it, actually. I tried to force myself not to go to the bathroom either. So sorry if I got the poem a little messy. But I hope you like my scent. Do you love me, Chloe? Tell me you love me. Tell me I'm the best. Tell me I'm better than that selfish toothpick. Tell me I'm better than that useless walking klutz. But I can never compare to Monica. She's actually emotionally stable. Something I'll never be. Why don't you love me? I open my eyes. I look around to see nothing but black, empty space. Doing a quick self-check, I appear to be okay. What the hell? What the hell was that? Was that real? No, this can't be. This is just a bad dream. I'm having a bad dream. You're lucky that this is a dream. Do us both a favor. Stay away from Yuri. That was the same as the last few times. I tried to purge what I saw last night from my memory, but I feel like I can see Yuri about to stab herself. Who's her? Yuri? Yeah. It sometimes struggle with having these few scenes still be like when it's with between in the original DDLC, when the name of Yuri and Natsuki change, then that won't be that. Then it's still skippable. So it's a bit I don't exactly know how that coding is changed, but I'm pretty sure it would be more difficult because ultimately these names did change here. I'm just already used to it skipping over the name. For example, when during this Sayori confession, you can see it pretty clearly when she's like, aren't you supposed to see Natsuki today? And then you go through the Natsuki route and then you load before Sayori dies and go with the Yuri event for the weekend, and it will still skip over everything even though it's said Natsuki previously. And when you check the history, it has corrected itself to Yuri, it just didn't stop for that. But I bet that would be more difficult to code as well. The only thing that kind of bothers me is really just from the scene where everything turns black. I know it was definitely the same for Natsuki. That entire scene would be the same as for Natsuki aside from the... Wait, no! They didn't even mention anything there. So I feel like that scene also should be a bit more skippable. And I don't see why that scene ended up being non-skippable because it was exactly the same. For Sayori, it was kind of like the order was shuffled around a little bit, like for when we picked Yuri just then. But, So how are things with you and Yuri? My mind goes completely blank. I'm not entirely sure I can put it to someone like Monica without accidentally giving anything away. For all I know, you might have convinced Monica to see how I feel about her roundabout way. Oh, well, you don't have to answer if you don't want to, Chloe. No, it's fine. It's just difficult to explain. And was at large once again. Yeah, you could say that. Take a moment to collect my thoughts. I think it's pretty much also the same here. So I wonder why, outside of the line with Yuri, it isn't skippable. Like the lines with him stand in the kitchen, it also was just, let her die. Who is her? Yuri? That was also just one line and the rest was skippable, so I don't know why this here changes then. That's what's a bit confusing. I don't know enough about coding as to make sense of how that happens. Well, it's been an interesting journey with her. At first, I thought she just wanted to be left alone with her books. Monica lets out a small laugh. Well, that's Yuri. From my understanding, she's always kind of been like that. Yeah, this is new, so this makes sense now. Really? Did she tell you something? That's not really something for me to say, Chloe. But I can say she's been a lot happier since you joined. Well, it's good to see that I did something right at least. Monica lets out another small laugh. Oh, come on, Chloe. You should give yourself a little more credit than that. I mean, my friend, yeah. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with her. We'll be fine. I think that was a bit different. Well, I would say for Sayori is that she just needs some time to get over what happened with you and her. I'm sure she'll come to you when she's ready to talk about what happened. For this line doesn't say me anything, for example, again. Yeah, I was thinking that too. She's a strong person, Chloe. She'll get through it. Monica shoots me a reassuring smile. Thanks, Monica. I really needed to hear that. No problem. So, what should I do with Yuri? Monica pauses for a moment. Well, it depends where you see yourself going with her, Chloe. I mean, I feel like I'm stuck in a box here. Do I risk telling Monica that I'm interested in Yuri? There's really no way that I can deny my feelings for her, especially when it's starting to become painfully obvious. I decide to play the roundabout card too. I just don't know if she likes me the same way I do. Maybe when it'll obvious here. Well, I'm sure Yuri will come to you soon and tell you how she feels. It's better for her to come to you than for you to come to her, knowing how she is and everything. I'm not quite sure how she'd react if you went to her first. I don't know if she'd be able to handle it. Understand. Thank you, Monica. I really appreciate everything. No problem. Your happiness is important to me too, Chloe. I managed to smile at Monica. Thanks, Monica. You're too kind. If you want to talk more, I'll be here. I've actually been working. Okay. Nope, like this. Who should I hang out with? Well, Yuri. I decide to see what Yuri was up to. Finally, I'll be able to spend time with her. I spot Yuri in her usual spot at the front of the room. I tepidly approach her as she seems to be absorbed into her book. However, she quickly spots me heading her way. Hey, Chloe. She smiles warmly at me. Hey, Yuri, what's up? Just reading chapter 7. How about you? Aside from that horrific nightmare I had last night, and the hallucinations I experienced this morning, which there is no chance I'm sharing any of that with Yuri. Oh, I'd say it's been alright. Nothing too exciting. Well, that's great to hear, Chloe. Were you able to finish chapter 6? Yeah, I finished it last night, actually. It was pretty interesting. That wasn't completely true. I did finish the chapter, but I finished it today during class when I was bored. I won't want to give you the impression that I'm a slacker. Well, I'm glad you got to read it. I just got started with reading chapter 7, actually. So we can read it together, if you want. Yuri looks off in her usual flustered manner. You know I'd love to, Yuri. Oh, really? That was silly of me. I sit down next to Yuri. I take it we're doing the same thing as last time? Yeah, that works for me. I shoot Yuri a smile, which immediately causes her to blush. Well, let's get reading. Yuri nods approvingly at me as we begin to reach chapter 7. We also need to have an awkward moment today, I believe, where everyone looks at us with irritation or sadness or something. After reading for a few minutes, I see Yuri shifting uncomfortably in her seat. Everything good, Yuri? Yeah, it's just that my posture isn't too good right now. Oh right, her posture. Can't believe I forgot about that. Do you want to move to under the windowsill again? I mean, if you're comfortable here, I don't mind. Yuri, I don't want you to be uncomfortable if sitting like this is going to make your back ache. I really don't mind where we read as long as we're together. Oh, might have been a little too forward there. He is completely caught off guard and frantically fiddles with her hair as she figures out how to respond. Yeah, let's just sit down. Okay. You and I take our seats under the windowsill. Ironically enough, we actually sat here before, for the exact same reason. I don't mind it though. I enjoy being like this with Yuri. Yuri hands me the book as she peers over my shoulder to read. Do you feel better now? Yeah, I do. I can't really see the book though. Oh, my bad. I tried to bring the book closer to Yuri, but it makes my arm feel awkward. Let me try something. Yuri pushes the book back towards me. Oh? Hello? Ah! Oh! It didn't register that I pressed the button for some reason. Ooh. It's similar situation here. We gotta read close together. We gotta cuddle. She then puts her head on my shoulder. Oh, that's not very visible right now. I immediately feel the blood rush to my face as I'm filled with shock. Not that I don't mind Yuri doing that, but the fact that she actually went out of her comfort zone to do this astonishes me. This isn't too distracting for you, right? Oh no, not at all. I actually kind of like this. It's awkward having named it after my character, my female character, and then it's just like this basic ass dude over here. Yuri looks off and blushes. She regains her composure and looks back at me. Good. I was hoping you wouldn't find me weird for doing this. I like it when you're expressive. You should do it more. Yuri lets out a small giggle. Well, if you want me to, I will. Noted. With our banter aside, we pick up where we left off. The chapter actually turns out to be the best one yet. In the chapter, the main character, this girl named Libitina, is given a second chance to repair her broken relationship with her uncle, who she's currently living with. Most of the chapter is told through a monologue as Libitina internally debates if it's worth repairing her relationship with her uncle. Why does this currently remind me of the Guild Codex Demonized? with Uncle Jack, I almost said Uncle Sam. That's the wrong uncle. That's As she's on the run from a league of escapees who want her back in order to complete some ritual. It's quite interesting actually, the thought, and through her logic, she knows mending fences with her uncle is the right thing to do. She knows that she might not get another chance to make him happy, but she doesn't know if it's been worth it in the long run. So while we reach the end of the chapter with Libitina deciding to talk to her friend about what she should do. Do you think she'll do it, Chloe? Do you think Libitina will end up making things right with her uncle? I mean, I hope she does. Very rarely do people get a second chance to do the right thing. If I was her, I'd take it. Yeah, me too. Kind of is a parallel to what happens later. We sit for the next few moments in silence, unsure of what to do next. Yuri seems to be deep in thought. She takes a deep breath and turns to face me again. I'm really glad we get to spend time like this, Chloe. Yeah, me too. And Yuri hesitates. And what? I'm glad that you've given me a chance. I hear Yuri's voice break as she says that, but she continues to press on, sounding like she's trying to fight back tears. Truth is, I haven't had a real friend in years. Not since middle school has anyone treated me like an actual person. I've honestly almost forgotten what it was like to enjoy being with someone who cares about you. I feel my heart sink into my chest as she says that. Yuri did mention to me a few weeks ago that she usually spends all her time alone, but I never knew that she's been alone for so long. So, it means a lot to me that we finally got to spend time together again. Without thinking, I take Yuri's hand and lean into her. Yuri looks up to me, her violet eyes being reflective in the sunlight. I see a smile slowly forming across her face. Yuri. I don't know. Yuri, you don't have to be alone anymore. Yuri's face turns full crimson. Chloe, Yuri squeezes my hand tightly. We struggled to make eye contact for longer than a few seconds. I tried to muster up the courage to keep talking. For some reason, I can't. We're just intently looking at each other, both stammering as we try to find what we want to say to each other. I feel Yuri's gentle breaths brush against my face as she slowly leans in as well. This feels like heaven. But I really don't know what to do. This is the perfect opportunity for me to make progress with Yuri. Significant progress. But I'm afraid that someone's gonna catch us and immediately get the wrong idea. I glance around the room to see Natsuki rummaging in the closet, Sayori spacing out, and Monika working on something. I turn back to face Yuri. Is this it? Is this my chance to finally make a move on Yuri? I mean, we're already so close. Close my eyes. Feel Yuri placing her hand on my chest as she pulls me in. Here goes nothing. Suddenly, I hear Monika stand up and walk to the front of the room. everyone! Gather around! I have an important announcement to make! Suddenly, Monica and Sayori's eyes turn to me and Yuri. Natsuki, confused as to what's going on, turns around, only to see what Monica and Sayori are staring at. Yuri and I were really just about to... And the position we're in really doesn't make it any easier to explain. Other girls are looking at us with a bit of an irritated, almost jealous expression on their faces. That is always the exact same, text. But I'm going to read it given that it's a bit of a different situation. Great. It was up to me to attempt to salvage the situation. Yuri, this is going to be very different. Yuri steps out of her gaze. Yeah, what's wrong? We kind of have to get up. Yuri turns to face the front of the room and she sees Monica and Sayori and Yuri, and Natsuki staring at us. Yuri immediately stands up and brushes herself off, clearly embarrassed. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry everyone. I didn't mean for you guys to see us like that. And Monica, Natsuki, and Sayori all look off in different directions, trying to avoid making the situation even more awkward than it already is. Eventually, Monica speaks up. It's alright, Yuri. Come on. She gestures for us to come forward toward the front of the room. Yuri briskly walks to the front and takes her usual spot. I stand up as well and make my way to the room, joining the rest of the group. While on my way to the front of the room, Natsuki gives me a okay. That was random. I just hope she isn't jealous of me and Yuri getting so close like that. Hopefully then she won't put me in the hospital. Oh well. That was pretty similar also to the Sayori one. After a moment of silence, Natsuki is the first to speak up. I wouldn't mind baking cupcakes again. Still have plenty of ingredients left over. I did happen to keep the welcome banner that Chloe and I made for the festival. I just need to finish it. It's somewhere at my house, and I wouldn't mind some help looking for it. Yuri looks whimsically at me. She's asking, especially after... Yeah, I wouldn't mind helping you again. I'd love to come over to your place anytime. Preparing for the festival with you was really fun. Yuri looks off, attempting to compose herself. It was really nice. She says it softly to herself, but quickly realizes that everyone overheard. Oh, I mean, yeah, I would love your help. I chuckled to myself. Yuri's mannerisms have always been adorable. Corner of my eye, I see Sayori looking tearfully at me. I mean, I always love spending time with you and with you all. And seeing Sayori just trying to hold back her tears completely derails my train of thought. I never did take into account that she might not yet be comfortable with me being this flirty around Yuri yet. Yeah, so... I looked like an idiot as I tried to find what to say next. Thankfully, Monica comes in to seemingly save the situation. Especially considering how Sayori saw me getting too comfortable with Yuri. I take it Sarah probably thinks I'm going to have an extended cuddling session with Yuri tonight based on what she saw early in the club. That was pretty similar. So look through my poems, I come to realize just how much Yuri has influenced my writing. I guess by spending all that time around her, I picked up on her writing habits. Despite her insecurities about her writing, I always thought her poems were fun to read. Yuri's insecurities about her writing? She has shown insecurities about her handwriting, but never about her writing. Even if her writing style is rather complex, she uses it pretty effectively to get her message across. Looking back at my poems, I realized why Yuri likes them so much. She finally found someone that she can relate to. Even though I thought she just preferred her books over people, it's quite remarkable how much closer we've gotten over these last 2 weeks. Especially how we were earlier today. I feel like if I give it a few more days, I may finally be ready to ask her out, assuming she doesn't make the first move. As well. I don't know. I feel like I should start spending more time around you. It was literally just again the Natsuki Yuri change. I'm glad that I got to spend some time with Yuri yesterday and today as well. I thought you and Yuri liked each other though. But we're friends. I guess I just got a little too friendly with Yuri there for a second. Yeah, you kind of did. And it's Natsuki's poem again. I'm pretty sure I identified her handwriting. Yep. You were supposed to stay away from Yuri, not get closer to her. I didn't want to have to keep this up. I don't take enjoyment in your suffering, but you're leaving me no choice. Suddenly I see a silhouette approach me. Yuri? Is that you? Yuri comes into my view. Yuri's obsessed with you. Did you know that? She can't go 5 seconds without thinking of you. She suppressed herself for so long she can't even figure out how to tell you how she feels. And when she lets herself loosen up just a little bit, she becomes unhinged. Which is why repressed feelings should stay repressed. Another silhouetted figure emerges from the fog right next to Yuri, pointing a knife threateningly in her direction. Is that also the... Monika has a longer knife than Yuri did. Jesus. So is Yuri not going to stab herself, but Monika is going to stab Yuri? Let's get to the point, shall we? Yuri drops to the ground, screaming in pain. The figure examines the knife as Yuri clutches her shoulder. I can see why she likes these. These do provide a thrill. Okay, I think this is the worst out of character I've seen Monika. Look, I get that she had cut herself and also had kind of this experience of exhilaration, but there's a bit of a difference between feeling exhilarated because of your explosion of endorphins as you injure yourself and stabbing yourself, which Monika herself says in Act 3, just the thought of killing someone is not very something she wants to really have. And of course she, it's okay, because they're game characters, but if already the suicides were unintentional, then I'm pretty sure the thought of actively attacking someone and having blood get onto your hands will also not be something that she would think is a thrill. Try to call to Yuri, but nothing comes out of me. I try to turn to help her, but I can't move my legs. I try to turn away to avoid looking on at Yuri's suffering, but my eyes refused to close and my neck refused to turn. Oh, don't worry, Chloe. She's not in any real pain. In fact, she's enjoying this. She does this all the time when she thinks about you. In fact, let me prove it. The figure drops the knife and kicks it along to Yuri. Oh. So Yuri is going to stab herself probably in the stream. Come on, Yuri. Use it on that thing. Yuri clumsily scoops up the knife with one hand and slowly stands up. Breathing is erratic as she clutches the knife with both hands. Think of that raccoon, Yuri. The one that's always followed you around. Show Chloe the raccoon. Yuri's giggling quickly gives way to an insane, maniacal laughter. The same kind of laugh I heard in my dream last night. Does the world around me become dark as I can no longer clearly make out Yuri? Just a silhouette. No. Yuri! I jam my eyes shut as I feel tears rolling down my face as the sound of Yuri stabbing herself again. I want to wake up. I want this torture to end. What does this thing want from me? To stay away from her. I think I'm gonna be sick. My eyes lay upon Yuri's bloodied corpse. I guess she got my point, huh? The voice lets out a brief, cruel laugh. Oh, Yuri. Much like Sayori, full of self-doubt and second-guessing. Though the fundamental difference between them is that Sayori can more or less choose how to respond in a situation. Yuri can't. She has all these emotions that she suppressed for so long. And in the right circumstances, they do show, and it usually overwhelms her, like you just saw. Because you helped enable her. By getting too close to her. By gaining her trust. This can't continue. The longer you spin around Yuri, the harder it'll be on everyone when things come to pass. You're not helping things by being around her. She will die with or without your interference. The only difference is, how much do you want to feel when you let her go? Leave her behind. Forget about her. Worry about us. There's only us. Just us. Sorry. How about how I couldn't save Yuri? Yeah. How that figure made her kill herself. The corpse. We're not telling about dreams. I mean, to tell you the truth, I didn't really know that Natsuki liked me. In fact, I think she thought I hated her at some point because I was spending so much time around Yuri. So I'm surprised that she'd give me this. Maybe this is her attempt at reaching out to you. To confirm her feelings for you. Probably. But I do feel drawn to Natsuki. We just click. But I do feel drawn to Yuri, probably. I'm really happy whenever we get to spend time around each other. And I do think she feels the same way. I see. If nothing against Natsuki, I really don't. I think I just like Yuri better. But if I told her that Natsuki gave me this, she'd flip out. Yeah, she would. Does Sayori know that Natsuki gave you this? And we're back to the choice. Wait a second, I should probably quickly move my microphone because I moved it. So, yeah, back to this choice. Yeah, we're not walking back. But this probably was Yuri. While I wasn't looking, I bumped into someone, causing them to immediately drop all of their textbooks. When in the hallway suddenly turns towards me. I hastily turned to face who I just bumped into. It's Yuri! Oh no! Are you okay, Yuri? I'll be alright. I looked down to see the pile of books that Yuri dropped. I'm able to recognize portrait of Markov among her textbooks. She really doesn't leave home without it, it seems. I'll get that for you. I bent down to pick up Yuri's books. Sorry about that. I should really pay more attention to where I'm going. What do you mean? If anyone should be apologizing, it should be me. I'm the one that bumped into you. I guess we both owe an apology to each other. Yeah, I'm really sorry. I'm barely able to lift up all of Yuri's textbooks and hand it to her. Yuri must also be a strong girl. Jeez, at those advanced level course textbooks? Yep, I'm taking 3 this semester. Poor girl. Well, she seems to be very happy. Well, I'm impressed you can carry all that. It's a side benefit when you're taking those advanced courses. It really builds up your arm strength. Matter of fact, I'm actually on my last advanced course for the day. Well, hey, I hope it all goes well. Thank you, Chloe. So, where are you heading off to next? I'm heading back to my algebra class. Just got out of my lunch period. How was your lunch? Surprisingly, it was actually alright. Found out that I had the same lunch period as with Monica. Crazy, right? That's nice, Chloe. I just wish we had lunch together, too. I'm sure we'll get a chance next year. It would certainly be nice. If the universe still exists next year. Well, it'd give me a good excuse to try out more of your tea. It would indeed. I have all sorts of recipes I've been meaning to share with the club. I do think there's a select few you'd really enjoy. She actually took the time to try to figure out what kind of tea I would like. She never fails at trying to be sweet. I'd like that a lot, Yuri. So, I take it you're heading back to class now? Yeah, fortunately. Whose class are you in? Saito's. Yeah, her class is a little, well, boring. Yes, it's quite dull. But you learned to power through it. I'm still figuring out how to do that. I'm sure you'll figure it out soon, Chloe. Thanks, Yuri. I have to get to my class now. I'd hate to be late. Yeah, same here. I'll see you in the club, Chloe. Bye, Yuri. Goodbye. I wave goodbye to Yuri as we head our separate ways. I'm just hoping that when I walk in later, Natsuki doesn't suddenly confess to me or something. Or is it intended to be Yuri? That'd make this day even more stressful. I'm pretty sure usually it was Natsuki, like as in it's a Natsuki thing. I'll see how Yuri is doing. I spot Yuri sitting in her usual spot by the front of the room, intently reading. I casually walk over and take a seat next to her. Hey, Yuri! Yuri looks over at me with a surprised expression, but quickly greets me with her usual warm smile. Hello, Chloe. How are you this afternoon? Oh, I'm good. What have you been up to? I've just been getting some more reading done. So, same as always, huh? Yuri giggles to herself. Would you like to join me? Of course I would, Yuri. Yuri blushes and sets the book between us. You sure you don't want to sit by the windowsill again? Yuri plays with her hair timidly as she averts her gaze to the corner. Suddenly I remember why Yuri was getting so flustered. Things did take an interesting turn yesterday. I mean, if you really want to, I wouldn't mind. I see Yuri crack a small grin. Well, whatever's comfortable for you, Yuri. I'm perfectly fine either way. Okay, let's just stay here for now. Okay, but let me know if your back starts bothering you or anything. Thank you, Chloe. With that, we begin reading once again. After a few minutes of reading, you and I begin to hear Natsuki shouting from the closet. What the hell is it? Where's what, Natsuki? I'm missing the special edition of Parfait Girls. It's not in the box, and I don't have it on me. Maybe you accidentally left it behind someplace? I know I had it here somewhere. You rolls her eyes as she tries to concentrate on reading. Natsuki, I don't think it's here. It has to be! Natsuki's screeching continues until Sayori walks over to check on the situation. Natsuki, I'm sure you'll find it soon. I have to! The edition cost me a lot of money. Not to mention it was very hard to get. I can't get a replacement if I can't find it. I can see Yuri's face contort with irritation. She even has a symbol here there. Have you tried retracing your steps? I'll do that later. But first I'm gonna flip this entire closet upside down. Turn around to see Sayori and Monica taking cover behind the desk as books, pencils, and whatever else was in the closet flies out at an ever-increasing pace. The commotion from the closet causes Sayori to let out an irritated sigh. I can't read like this! Honestly, same here. I can barely hear myself think. Maybe we can read somewhere else? Honestly, anywhere is better than here right now. Yuri says this louder than her usual tone, and what I can only assume is an effort to get Natsuki's attention, though Natsuki doesn't seem to have heard or just chose to ignore her. Yeah, she's kinda busy getting her manga, or like looking for her manga. It's clearly important to her. Of course she'd ignore any type of weird statement. Yuri lets out another sigh. Come on, let's go. Yuri, in a fit of frustration, grabs my collar and proceeds to yank me along for the ride. Jeez. Hey! Yuri releases me as soon as we're in the hallway. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to. It's fine, don't worry about it. Yuri's usually not that assertive around me, but when she is, it's like she's a completely different person. It's as if another side of her personality that she likes to keep hidden. It's as if it's another side of her personality that she likes to keep hidden. A few moments of silence pass before I decide to try and move on from the awkwardness. So... Day becomes even more heavy as we come to the realization that we're completely alone out here in the hallway. Still, we can't stand here all day. So, where do you think we should read? I did have a place in mind. Where? If you want, we can read by the school courtyard. Yeah, I wouldn't mind going there. I've been meaning to check out that new fountain they built. Then let's go. Yuri smiles brightly as we begin making our way to the school's courtyard. After just a few minutes of walking, we arrive at the courtyard. The sun is shining through the clouds and warming the environment with its delicate rays. A cool breeze blows and brings the courtyard to life as the trees shake and leaves fall. The new fountain is glistening as if the water were sprayed with crystal. Wow, the courtyard is especially beautiful today. As I look to my left, I see Yuri in a trance, her skin glistening in the sunlight as the breeze flows through her hair. Her expression is one of peace as she closes her eyes and takes in a breath of fresh air. If it weren't for time constraints, I wouldn't mind staring at her all day. Hey, Yuri. She opens her eyes as she turns her body towards me. If we don't hurry, we won't have any time to read. Point towards the portrait of Markov tucked away under her arm. Oh, right. Yuri and I walk over and sit by on the edge of the fountain. Are you ready to begin, Chloe? Whenever you're ready. Yuri flashes a smile as she cracks open to where we last left off. I'll admit, I actually haven't had the chance to read here before. I mean, I've read outside plenty of times before, but something tells me this will be an experience. Let's hope it's one to remember. Indeed. Without a further word said between us, we begin reading. Reading the next 2 chapters with Yuri turns out to be a blissful experience. The sound of the water rushing behind us as we silently read together turns out to be more joyful than I anticipated. But the best part was that Yuri seemed to relax much more as time went on, embracing the experience as if she was in her natural element. Not to mention, she was much more engaging compared to the last few times we've read, being sure to point out what she thought was important or funny moments in the story. I love when I do that. I love when people do it when we read together. At this rate, we're going to need to read here more. Well, I think this is a good stopping point for today. Yeah, I'm pretty surprised how far we've gotten into the story already. Tells when there is no unnecessary distractions. Yeah, I know what you mean. I stand up from the fountain and let out a yawn as I stretch my arms. Right, and every Wednesday there's an event where we kind of leave the club room, I believe. Well, we should probably head back before... No, for Monica it was... Tuesday. Yeah, for Monica it was Tuesday. But for both Natsuki and Yuri it was Wednesday. Well, we should probably head back before they send out a search party for us. I reach my hand out towards Yuri to help her stand from her seat. There needs to be at least one part where the girls are all outside, because I'm pretty sure it's mentioned later on with the... always running away. Ah, fuck. I reach my hand out towards... Oh, stand up from her seat. Yuri smiles and reciprocates the gesture. Huh? She extends her hand out. Yuri's uniform slightly retreats down her arm and exposes her wrist. This is why in the art for the PlayStation, I believe, for these covers there, Yuri has like these longer, these white sleeves that she kind of rolled as far up as possible. Are those cut marks? Yuri's expression goes from confused to terrified as she quickly darts her arm back down towards her, her glowing skin now pale as ice. Yuri? It was nothing, Chloe. Are you sure? I could have sworn I saw something. It's fine. My cat. Yuri takes a deep breath as her panicked expression recedes into her usual reserved manner. Yes, I was playing with my cat and it got a little feisty and scratched me. Are you sure? That looked a lot worse than a simple cat scratch. I told you already! It was my cat! Take a step back away from her as she stands up. Now, let's go before they start assuming shit! before they start assuming shit, probably more pronunciation-wise. Yuri brushes past me and keeps a quick pace as to keep distance between me and her. All right, I guess. I fast walk to try to catch up to Yuri. The entire walk back, Yuri makes sure to walk fast enough to keep a good 5 feet between us. She never once turned around, but I could still tell she was pissed off. Good going, Chloe. You just had to press her. You also did that with Sayori in the other ending, and it was viewed as a good thing. See what happens when Natsuki does it. But those still look more than simple cat scratches. Almost said scratch catches. We finally get to the club room. Yuri simply throws the door open and storms in. I sigh as I enter right behind her. Yuri rushes to take her usual spot in the front of the room, quickly opening up her book again while still looking agitated. I go to walk towards her, but Monica suddenly steps in between us. Chloe! Just the man I wanted to talk to. Oh, hey Monica. What's up? Let's go over here first. Monica pulled me to the front of the room, out of earshot of everyone. All right, what's going on with you and Yuri? Why does she look upset? Monica asks in a hushed, stern tone. Truthfully, I'd like to know what's up with Yuri as well. We were just reading outside by the fountain. And when it was time to go, my eyes turned over to Yuri, who was still angrily reading her book. She blew up at me because I asked her about her wrists. Then she'd probably be even more mad that I told Monica what I saw. But again, if Yuri's doing what I think she's doing, then it's probably better to say something and it turning out to be nothing serious. You still shouldn't just tell a random person like that. She knows I care about her, right? Even so, you don't just immediately tell everyone. No, we're not telling Monica. Maybe I'm just making a bigger deal of what I saw. But I have no reason to not believe Yuri. Like, even if the other option maybe was the more romantic one, I don't care. You don't just do that. You don't. Guess she was just mad that we had to get back. We were really enjoying the time we were spending together. Monica stares at me unconvincingly. Well, that was the best excuse I could come up with off the fly. So you mean to tell me that she's upset because she had to come back here? That doesn't seem like the Yuri we know, Chloe. It surprised me too. Chloe, you didn't do anything to upset Yuri, did you? I really don't know what I did, Monica. At least I'm being honest with Monica right here. Can we just move on from this? Monica lets out a sigh. If you insist. Thank you. But as long as she's all right, that's the most important thing. So, Yuri aside, I need to give you my poems. Oh, right, I completely forgot about that. It's all right, Chloe. I've had a pretty stressful day as is. Yeah. Monica hands me a stack of poems. What should I do about Yuri's? I'll get them for you. All right, I'd imagine she's not in the mood to talk to me right now. Yeah, it's all right. I give them to you by the end of the club today. Thanks, Monica. No problem. I walk over to my bag and carefully stow away Monica's poems. Well, I got nothing to do until Monica calls us together for the activity. And I don't really feel like talking with anyone else right now. I should sit at my desk and think about what I saw on Yuri's wrist. I tried to think if there were ever any other signs that I should have picked up on. I think back to last Sunday when we were making the banner. Well, there might have been something. I vaguely remember that when I walked back with the watercolor tablets for the banner, she rolled her sleeve and acted a little fidgety afterwards. Not to mention, I didn't see her knife again for the rest of the day. Guess at the time I didn't think too much of it, but now it makes sense. The more I think about it, the colder I feel. I try to dismiss the feeling and try to pass the time by playing a game on my phone. Okay, everyone, gather around. I want to share with you all the activity for today. Everyone takes a seat at the front of the room by Monica.